we've invited her here to teach you about safety on MARTA, okay? I would like everyone to stand up, introduce yourself, and say hello.
Hello, my name is Ida Thomas.
Y'all relate?
I need y'all a little bit.
Antonio?
I'm gonna need y'all a little bit louder. I know y'all can do better than this. We've been working on it. Stand up.
Hello, my name is McKay, but somebody called me K.
What's your nickname?
K for short.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Hello, my name is Caleb Hackett, but some people call me Mr. C.
Mr. C?
I don't.
That's the teacher's name.
Hello, Miss Christian. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
No.
Introduce yourself, Damien, pretty loud.
Mel.
I'm Damien.
Hey, Mr. Dankey.
Now, you'll see him down there.
I think I have.
Yeah, you'll see him down there picking him up in the morning, because I gotta go to North Springs now, and
I already did. I told you.
I didn't hear him.
stand up, Melvin, she didn't hear you.
Melvin.
Melvin?
Melvin what? Melvin what? You say your whole name when you introduce yourself.
Melvin Tate.
Stand up and say it. Come on. Stand up, pause, and then stand up straight, all the way up, now say your whole name.
Melvin Tate.
Thank you, that's how we do it. That's how we do in this class, okay? We don't. All right, and I'm Lawrence Black. I'm one of the paraprofessional job coaches. That's Damian Reed, who just left. He's one of the paraprofessional job coaches. Our teacher has been out sick, so I wish you could have had a chance to meet her, but she won't be back till Monday.
Okay.
Her name is Sharonda Sanderford, and she's the teacher of the Life program.
Okay.
Before we do that, okay, can someone tell Miss Hill what does Life stand for?
I know.
Who knows? Go ahead, Ms. Thomas.
Okay. Life stands for learning, independence, for future employment.
Okay, good job.
Life stands for learning. Okay, can someone tell Ms. Hill what is the Life program?
Caleb, the Life program is a job training program at Georgia State University.
Very good. Okay, we got 2 more to get started. Okay, and who can tell Ms. Hill what you learned in the Life program? Life. You got it, Antonio? You Grant, come on out. You got it? Tell me.
We learned about connotation.
Nope, that's not it. It's standard answer, because I already read the answer.
We learn about real world job skills.
Okay.
Okay.
Real world job.
And Caleb, could you tell her what real world job skills are?
Being at work on time and clocking in and clocking out every day.
Okay. So this is the Life program. That's what it is. Is what you understood. That's what they're here for.
Good job, y'all. So, okay, so once again, I'm Sergeant Monique Hill. I am I have a lot of titles, but right now, I am the Community Outreach Liaison, which means I make sure that anytime we get invited, like Mr. Black invited us out today, anytime we get invited to schools, it could be community events, whatever having to do with the community, I make sure we get approval from our boss, which is the chief, and then I just make sure I have people to show up, and I make sure that it runs smoothly. So, I'm new in this position. I used to actually be a sergeant at College Park on the South Line. So I used to be a sergeant there, and then I just recently got moved up to headquarters, is where I work. So I take pride in doing these events because I get nervous. Like, I'm not really nervous right now because y'all make me feel more comfortable when I came in, but I get nervous with talking in front of people. So it's normal. So I was like, oh goodness, I gotta go speak in front of people, but I do it so that it makes me comfortable and so that I'll be, better at it. So, I'm glad to be here, and y'all, I can tell that y'all are an awesome group. I see y'all in the mornings, and I noticed some things that we'll talk about, which are some good things that y'all are already doing that'll help you all with riding MARTA. So first, I wanted to start, I usually ask how many people ride MARTA, but the majority of you already ride MARTA in the morning when y'all are getting ready to come to school.
We have a group of 6 that come through College Park.
Okay.
And there's 3 I have to go get at North Point.
In North Springs? Okay, are the ones who you get from North Springs, they're in this class
Yeah,
right now?
Grant, raise your hand.
Grant, okay,
Kay, raise your hand.
okay,
Christian, raise your hand.
Okay.
Those 3 young men come from North Spring.
okay.
Mm.
So, when we talk about MARTA first, I'll talk about the train. So, when we have people who ride the train, I always suggest that you ride on maybe the first or second train car on the train. So when you're on the platform and that train's coming in, the train, when you see that person who drives the train, they stick their head out and they usually open the doors and they wave. Usually that train car or that second train car, I suggest people ride who are first timers or who are regulars that, you know, like you all, I would suggest y'all ride in the first train car for a couple of reasons. If you have an emergency, you need someone right now, right this second. If you're on that first or second train car, when that train stops, you can stick your head out and you can tell the operator, hey, I need some help. Or if you're on that first train car, it's a window. You can look in that window and you can see who's driving that train. You can knock on the window and then that'll get their attention and they'll be able to get you some assistance, whether you need a police officer, whether you just have a question, whether you've gotten lost. You can knock on that window and they'll be able to assist you faster than if you was all the way at the end of the train and then you'll be like, oh, well, how am I going to get somebody's attention? That may cause you to have to step off the train. By the time you're walking all the way up to the operator, the door's closed and that train is going on to the next station and then you could have to wait on the next train. So that's one reason why I suggest y'all sit on the first 2 train cars if you're, and not even while coming to school, if you're by yourselves or if you're with your parents or friends, I will always suggest if y'all want to sit on the first 2 train cars. Now some things that I want y'all to pay attention to, when that train is coming in, the front of that train has a word and then it has numbers. So if y'all are at College Park and that train's coming up, that train might say Doraville. Or the train might say North Springs. That's telling you this train is gonna It's telling you this train is going all the way to North Springs. We're not gonna, well, they're gonna stop at the station, but that train's not gonna turn around until it goes all the way to North Springs. So pay attention to if it says North Springs, if it says Doraville, if it says airport, that means that train's going all the way to the airport. If it says Indian Creek, that train's going all the way out to Indian Creek. If it says H.E. Holmes, that train's going all the way to H.E. Holmes. That'll let you know where that train is going. Also, underneath those words, it'll be a number. Say, for instance, we'll say, what's the classroom number? We'll say 130. So the train might say Doraville train 130. That's telling you this train is going to Doraville, and this whole train is train 130. Now, on the outside of that train is another number. A lot of numbers, right?
Yeah.
It's another number. That number may say 255. When you get on that train car, on the top wall, 255. You might see 255 in a couple different places. Say, for instance, you might get lost or you need help. And you call the number that I'll give y'all a little later is going to be our direct line to our dispatchers. The dispatchers are the people who we talk to on the radio. So once you call that number, it goes right into dispatch. And the first thing they're going to ask you is, what train are you on? Y'all being so smart and so ready, you're going to say, I'm on the Doraville train 130, train car 455. That's just like them telling, just like me telling somebody, I'm at Georgia State, whatever is, I forgot the name of this building. College of Education building, and I'm in room 130. That's telling them exactly where I am. So with y'all giving them that name of that train and those 2 numbers, that's telling them exactly where you are. Now, that makes it easier for us and faster for us to get to y'all.
Okay, so where's the name of the train at?
On the front. It'll be on the front of the train, and then it'll also be all the way at the back of the train. So when that train coming in.
On the first car.
The very first car. When you see it coming in,
Okay.
you'll see a little window. Most times you'll see the person who's driving the train in the window.
Okay.
That name and that number will be right there on the front of it.
I've never noticed that before.
Yeah, and the trains go so fast, so sometimes you don't really see it until the train slows down coming into the station. But if you're standing there waiting on that first train car, you'll be able to see it.
Okay,
So
good information.
that's good information for you to know if you ever have to call in and get some help. Now, it's okay if you didn't see the name of the train or you didn't see that number on the front. Even when you're on that train car, it's always the numbers at the top. Even if you just give us the train car number. Well, I don't know the name of the train, but I'm on car number 455. That's good information for them to have because they have a system to where they can track the train. And they know what train 455 belongs to train 130. So it's kind of like we can just look in the system and find it. If you don't know that number on the top, just say, hey, I just left College Park 2 minutes ago. We going north. Or if you, it can get that simple. I don't know, I just know I'm going up or I'm going north. I just left College Park. Or I just left North Springs. Or I just left Dorville. So even if you just know either where you left or where you're going, all that information will be helpful. Now, once you've got that information, let's talk about emergency buttons. So there is, if you're not sitting in the front train cars or if you can't get the attention of the person who's driving the train, there are emergency buttons, red emergency buttons on the side. I think it's on the side of the door when you walk in on the train. If you have an emergency, you can push that button and it's like an intercom. You will hear the operator say, does anyone need assistance or does anyone need help? You then can talk, and I think they should be able to hear you saying what you need. If it's like an emergency and you need that train to start right now. Now, so that's a good tool, but remember, if you press it and it's not an emergency, then guess what? Now somebody, now that's causing the train to stop, and now that operator gets off the train, he shuts the whole train down, and he goes from car to car to car to car to car, until he figure out who pressed the button. So only press it if it's a true emergency, and if you need that train to start right then and there. Cool?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, let's talk about personnel. If you need a police officer, let's say if you're in the station, if you're on the train, if you're on the bus, usually MARTA police officers either wear blue uniforms, not really this shirt, but it's the same color blue, and it says police on the back, or you might see them in like a highlighter yellow shirt, a real bright shirt. So that's MARTA police. If you see any of them, you can approach them, say hi, you can ask questions. If you're lost, if you need help, those are people that you look for inside the station. They're on the train sometimes, they ride the buses sometimes. So if you see them in those areas, y'all can approach them. Also, if you're somewhere like North Springs or Dorville, you can also find them in the parking lot. We ride around in the parking lot to make sure people's cars don't get broken into. So you can find them in the parking lots as well. Now, you can also ask for a station agent. Now, those are people, they have on orange shirts. It's kind of like a dark orange shirt. Now, if you see them, they help people if you need help loading your breeze card or if you need instructions on where to go, they'll be able to help you. Or if you need the police. You don't see the police, but you need the police. But I see this person with the orange shirt on, you can approach them and ask them, can they get the police for you? And then they will get on their radio, and then they'll get in contact with the officer closest to you, and we'll get somebody to you, okay? Now, I do want to talk about, it's an app. It's called the MARTA See and Say app. So I brought some of these cards. It's supposed to be shaped like a cell phone, if y'all can tell. But I'm going to leave some for y'all to take with y'all for y'all to have. So it basically gives you instructions on how to download this app. Now, I love this app. It's very, very cool. So the MARTA See and Say app, we have a saying. If you see something, you say something. So if you see crime happening and something is going on that shouldn't be going on, then we want you to say something. So this helps it be easier and for you to be like sneaky and kind of discreet, because a lot of times people don't like to tell because they're scared that somebody is going to get on them for telling, right? So this helps you to tell and nobody knows that you're telling. I've used it before and I'm the police. So, so what you do, once you download it on your phone and all of that good stuff, you have a couple options. Say for instance that you're on, I'm going to say the train. If you're on the train and you see somebody comes on that train and they start yelling, they start cussing and fussing and just raising all kind of disturbances, and everybody on the train is looking scared, and because y'all y'all ride MARTA, y'all, it's some weird people on MARTA, right? It's
Yeah.
a lot of strange things happen.
Yeah.
Every day.
Every day. And so, when somebody gets on the train and there's something going on, and you're like, oh man, you know that the police needs to know about this, you can get on your phone, you can text on the app. So the app, first thing they're gonna ask you, what train are you on? Well, y'all already know how to tell them that. We're on Dorville train, 130, blah, blah, blah. Even if you don't know that, you can skip that part and you can tell them, I just left College Park 2 minutes ago. So tell them what train you're on, or look up on that wall and give them that train car number. Now they're gonna say, what is the person doing? You can say the person is screaming, they're yelling, da da da. What does the person have on? You can say they have on a black shirt, glasses, braids with a bun, shorts, and some really cool socks and sneakers, right? I'm just describing what you have on. So you can tell them what the person has on. Or you can, anybody good at taking selfies? Everybody, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so how many of y'all are good at taking pictures of somebody else? How many of y'all are good at taking pictures of somebody else if they don't know you taking the pictures? Oh, you, okay, so y'all be really good. So what you can do is, this app allows you to take a photo. Now, I will only say do this if you can be discreet, if you can do it without them knowing. If you can take a picture of that person and then it'll automatically go on the app and it'll show us what the person looks like. A lot of times people say, it's a male with a white t-shirt on. Do you know how many times we've gotten that call? We get on the train and 90% of the people on the train have white t-shirts on. We don't know who the person is. And of course, by the time we get there, sometimes they're either off the train or they're done doing whatever they were doing. So taking that picture of the person will give us a better information on what they look like. Now, when you're taking that picture, it automatically turns your flash off. You don't have to worry about your flash going off and then you getting caught from taking a photo. Or if you're farther enough away and they don't see you, they might be all the way at the end, you might be in the front of the train. If you can kind of sneak a picture, that's an option though. But if you feel more comfortable, you can just text what the person has on, you send it in, and you can either tell them your name or you can be anonymous. You don't have to tell them who you are if you're reporting a crime or you're reporting a disturbance. Send that in, they call us, and we are on the way. Have y'all ever been on the train, and when that train pulls up to the station, is the officer already standing there, waiting on the train to come in? You see it before?
Yeah.
And that's probably because somebody probably used the app or somebody called us and said, hey, is somebody doing something? The train is about to approach East Point. So that officer at East Point will be standing there waiting on the train. We use the same information y'all use. We say, what's the train number? They tell us the train number, and when we see that train come in, we say, oh, that's that train, and then we check it out. So that's the app that y'all can use. I'm gonna leave some of these, I'm gonna leave all of them with y'all so that y'all will know how to download it on your phone, and y'all know how to use it. Now, want to talk about the difference between weird activity and criminal activity. So it's the difference. So like we said, somebody acting weird, I could be being weird if I just it's weird, right? I'm just staring at you. I'm not saying anything. I'm just staring at you. Now that's not a crime. I didn't touch you. I didn't say anything to you. But now I made you feel a little uncomfortable. Just a little bit. Right. So somebody doing something like that would be considered weird. But say for instance, if somebody is staring at you, and it just gets to the point y'all have went 3-4 stations, and they've stared at you for 5 minutes straight and they have looked nowhere else. Now you're getting uncomfortable. I would suggest you can either move to another seat and try to get away from it. You don't even have to say anything to that person. Move to another seat and try to get away from them. And say for instance, if you move to another seat and then they get up and then they come and sit right beside you and they start back staring at you. Yeah, you can tell your teacher, if you have a teacher nearby, just say, hey, teacher such and such, this person is making me feel uncomfortable, they're looking at me, I moved to another seat, they moved to another seat too. Definitely, if you have a teacher with you, definitely tell that teacher, and so they'll be able to handle it accordingly. So, if that happens, and let's just say say the teacher is not with you on that day, or y'all might just be out. All this stuff I'm telling y'all, you can use while at school or while you're out with your family, your friends, by yourself. So say for instance, if you're not with your teacher and that person gets up and sits down beside you after you move, you can put that on the CSA app. Hey, you know, somebody keeps staring and following me on the train, because that, now we're getting over into, okay, it's a possibility that they want to try to, you know, they have bad intentions. You can let us know, and we'll come and we'll do what we call a welfare check. So we're gonna come and we're gonna make sure everything is okay. We're gonna make sure y'all are okay. And then once everything's okay, you good to go. Now, when I say weird, now weird can go, if it's making you, if it's weird to the point that you're getting uncomfortable, then you can definitely let us know, because we want everybody to enjoy their ride. Everyone should be able to have a peaceful ride when we're on that train. Whether you're on that train for 1 minute or 1 hour, no one should be bothering you while you're on the system, right?
Right.
Yes, sir.
I wanted to ask, what if they're like, whenever you go into a nursery, what if they're like harassing you?
Now, harassing is a crime. So if they're harassing you, if they start following you, if they start saying stuff to you, and you kind of made it known that you don't want to be bothered, you definitely let us know. You can call us, you can use the app, or you can get the attention of that operator who's driving that train and let them know what's going on, and we can get an officer there to assist you. Now, what I mentioned earlier, I see that y'all do travel together as a group, which is good from what I see outside of the Fairgate at College Park. It's always good to travel in numbers. So y'all staying together and y'all staying as a group, that's a good thing, because usually people don't tend to mess with groups of people. But when they see people here and there by themselves, then that's when people want to start picking with you and doing, you know, things of that nature. So it's already good. Y'all are already practicing good safety strategies, such as being together in a group. Also, being aware of your surroundings. Even me sometimes. I can walk in text. I can turn corners. I don't even have to look up because I'm using my peripheral, but I'm so in tune with this phone, which is not good. I should be more aware of what's going on around me and making sure y'all are aware. It's a lot of times where somebody might be on the train and they see you on your phone. Oh, your phone might be better than their phone. So now what they want to do? Now they want to steal it. And you not paying attention, you sitting down in your seat, or you walking around and they come up and snatch it and take off running. Before you even know what's happening, they already hopped off the train and halfway down the street. So just making sure y'all are being aware of what's going on so that y'all can see those weird people, or you can see that person who's probably been looking at you a little too long, or you can see that person who's doing this or that. So that is very important. Like I said, I have to remind myself of that as well. So talking about the trains, talking about the stations. If you need help in the station, there are phones you can pick up. You can pick up that phone. We have some red, I think those are fire emergency phones. We have blue phones and white phones. If you have a question, you can pick up any of those phones, and Marta, if somebody on the other end, you don't have to dial a number. I don't even think it rings. It automatically connects when you pick it up, and then you can let somebody know if you need help. They'll ask you what type of help you need, and then they'll be able to get that person to you. If you need help loading your car, or if you need police assistance, pick up that phone and just start talking, and then they'll be able to assist you. Now these phones are outside the fare gates. Once you go in the gate, they're inside the fare gates, and then there are also some on the platform. So it's basically phones on each level of the station, no matter what station you're at. So if you need help, pick up those phones, and we'll get somebody to you as fast as possible. Let's see. I'm trying to go in order, but train stations, let's talk about buses. So the buses are pretty much the same as the trains. The only thing is you don't have like that emergency button you can press, but that bus operator is right there in reach if you just need to say hey, or on the buses they have like this red string. Usually people pull that string when their bus stop is coming up. When you get close to their bus stop, they pull that string. It makes like a dinghy noise, and that lets that it lets the bus operator know that, hey, stop here because this is my stop. If you have an emergency and you pulling that and you need that bus to stop, go ahead and pull that string, and that'll get that operator's attention, and you'll be able to stop the bus as well. Now, they have do they have the bus route app on their phone?
Yeah, they
Okay.
they have a whole MARTA app, so you can go
Okay, yeah.
train the bus, whatever.
Yeah, okay, so y'all, the app that y'all have, that's a good app to have. It'll show y'all the next time the train's arriving. It'll show you if you kind of just missed the train. It'll show you about the bus route. If you know you're at College Park, but you're trying to get to South Lake Mall, and you might not know which bus you need to take, that'll help you, navigate the system and see where you need to go. Oh, let me touch on one more thing. So Georgia is a right to carry state, and this has to do with guns. Now, if you see somebody on the system with a firearm with a gun, it's not a crime for them to have this gun, but it depends on what they're doing. Anytime they pull this out of this holster, anytime they pull it out of where it's supposed to be, now we're crossing over into the line of, okay, the police might need to be aware of this situation. So if you see somebody simply sitting with a gun on their hip, still keep an eye on them, still be, mindful of what they're doing. But if they're sitting there quiet, minding their business, then okay, we're cool. But as soon as they get to taking it out and playing with it and doing all that, okay, now it's making time to notify the police so that they can probably come out and see, what's going on. I would even suggest you, if you don't feel comfortable, even when that person's sitting there being good, you can still move out of their, vicinity if something's going on. But especially if they start doing stuff with it, move away from them. If the train stops and y'all are together, if y'all want to get on another train car, but definitely separate yourself from that person and then notify us so that we can come out there and we can just make sure this person is doing what they're supposed to be doing, and because we don't want anybody to get hurt. We don't want anybody to get hurt on the system. And that would be one of those times where I would definitely have y'all use that app on that phone, because I don't want y'all to just pick, hey, this person got a gun, they playing with it, because then you might become a victim. I would say use that app on that, or get that operator's attention and, kind of, hey, somebody, get their attention, just be discreet so that we can get somebody out and so that everybody can be safe. But if they're sitting there just being cool, then that's fine. But if we still get called, if somebody might have a gun, but we still come out. Even if somebody has a gun and they're doing good, we still come out there just to make sure, hey, we just doing a welfare check, everybody on the train good, everybody give a thumbs up, then we go ahead and, go about our business. So I definitely want to bring that up because that's a hot topic lately. MARTA mobility. So MARTA mobility, I don't know if y'all have seen, they're like buses, they're smaller buses. You seen MARTA mobility before?
Yeah.
So we have MARTA mobility. So that'll be people who may be physically disabled or that just qualify for having being able to ride MARTA mobility. Now the thing about mobility, it's a little different from just getting on the train or on the bus. With MARTA mobility, you actually have to, I would say, apply for MARTA mobility. Oh yeah, see, okay, that's got card. So you'll be able to apply for MARTA mobility. Now MARTA mobility comes and picks people up from their house. So they don't have to go to the train station or go to the bus stop. They go to a location and they're taught how the system works. They're taught how to ride MARTA mobility. They make sure, just say for instance, if you might be in a wheelchair, they make sure your wheelchair is able to function on the bus, and they're making sure the bus doors are big enough or not too small for you to, we don't want anybody to get stuck trying to get on or off MARTA mobility. And they just teach everyone the ins and outs of riding that bus. Now, like I said, you will have to go in, and it's kind of like applying for it, and then once they clear you or give you the go-ahead, then that bus will pick you up from your home. Say, for instance, someone needs to go to the grocery store at 1:30. So they'll make an appointment. They'll have that bus to come to their house, maybe, let's say, 1:15, pick them up, take them to the store. By 1:30, they're at the store. And then they come out the store, and then that bus drop them right back off on their front porch. So that gives them a little more intimate access. For those who it might be a little more difficult for them to ride the trains or the buses or things like that. So that's another option as far as riding the system.
Yes, question for you. So we train our young people, interns, definitely like MARTA,
Mhm.
sometimes, most of like MARTA, whatever. If they had, like the car he's got, could they take MARTA mobility to the station and then ride the train, then get off? Or not, or did they prefer that they be completely MARTA mobility?
You know what, that's a good question.
Because they can navigate because that's only going one way and all like this, but once
Right.
they get off, they can't navigate for the buses. So that's.
I actually don't know the answer to that question. I never thought of that. I want to say I don't see a reason why they wouldn't, but then of course with me saying that, it'll be a reason. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna find out when I get back and I email you
Okay,
back,
that'd be fine.
and then you can share the answer with them. Because where my office is, I'm connected. We are connected to the mobility area, so I can go right on over there and ask them.
So we might see us coming down there as a classroom.
Yeah.
Because
So
we try to get all our young people basically they're eligible for it, and we get the paperwork in and get everything like this, whatever, so that when they do leave this program, if they can't truly navigate the trains, they automatically just go to MARTA mobility.
mobility, okay. I will ask them, and just so we're clear, the question is, are they able to ride MARTA mobility from their house to, we'll just say, from their house to College Park, and then get on the train and all of that good stuff to go where they need to go?
Yeah.
To close that gap.
It's supposed to have to be down here because with a lot of the training that they do, we get them ready, Georgia State or the people, they give them a job offer.
Right.
So they're familiar with
Mhm.
that part of it.
Okay.
It's that part from their house to here that they,
Okay.
so that's what we're, concerned about right there.
Okay, I can definitely, I'll get that answer for you today.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Well, I got you. Yes, you can. You can ride mobility from your house to a location as long as it's a mile from your house.
Okay.
The bus stop is the mile by your house. You get a mobility and ride down anywhere you want to go to.
Oh, okay.
Okay. If the stop is a little more than a mile, 2 miles, you may have to take a walk that mile to that bus stop, and they can pick you up there,
Okay.
or if you take a lift to the location as well too as well.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
Thank you, you taught me something.
Oh, you're welcome, you're welcome.
Yeah.
You know the reason why you came down here today?
Let's see, any questions so far? I know I'm talking so much,
Anybody
and
got any
I'm
questions?
talking about a lot of stuff. Anybody have any questions?
No.
Is there anything she said that hasn't been said in this class before? What about the phone?
What about,
What she said about the phones, have we gone over that in the classroom?
no.
Okay, where you been? Yes, we have.
Yeah.
That's why we like to have her, because the things we telling you, we get it from our personnel, how to be safe.
Oh, yes,
So
it
we just
was.
we wanted them down here this year, and
Yeah,
probably every year from now on, to come down and present to the class, okay?
yeah.
'Cause, everybody here is new this year except for three were here last year, but everybody else, all this is new, like Mara, this and everything like that.
Okay.
Do you all have cell phones, guys? Everybody has a cell phone, right?
I have a cell phone.
Everybody's got a cell
And the
phone.
Martin Go app on cell phone already?
They have the Marta, they had a Marta app, the one she's talking about, we're gonna put on there, safe
The
one.
C-SPAN
CC
app.
saying that?
We're gonna put that on their phone.
And then I have the, I'll leave it with you, our dispatch number, but I say it out loud. So, just like you call it 911, our number is 404-848-4911. But instead, like when you dial 911, all you have to dial is those 3 numbers. But with us, unfortunately, you gotta dial the whole number, but that will get you straight to our dispatch, and that'll let them talk to us. Now, you can always call 911, but what happens is, you call 911, then 911 calls MARTA, and then MARTA calls one more person, and then they call us. That's like 4 or 5 people, right?
Yeah.
So, but if you just call that number, it'll go straight to us, and then it'll go straight to our dispatch, and then it'll go straight to MARTA police. So we cutting down on that time of them putting you on hold if y'all need somebody right then. So I'm gonna leave that number with y'all so y'all can put it in your phone, in case y'all need anything. And I know 911 has like the issue with an emergency or non-emergency. With us, we take emergency and non-emergency on the same phone number. So even if you have a question about what time is the next train, they'll probably put you on hold, but they'll get that information for you and they'll click back over and let you know. But that one phone number is for everything, so I'll leave y'all that so y'all can put in your cell phone, okay?
Okay.
Let's see, what else? I'm trying to think. I feel like it might be all off the top of my head. Okay, let's do a pop quiz,
Pop quiz?
okay?
Pay attention.
I should have brought, I'm sorry I didn't bring any trinkets, but, so my first question is, how do you identify what train you're on?
Train numbers?
Okay, sub question, where are the numbers on the train?
On the top of the doors?
Okay, so she said one in the front, one on the side, and then one on the back. The one that's on the back and the one that's on the front, those are the same numbers. Now, the one that's on the side, it's the same number as when you go in the train, that number that's on the wall, those are the same numbers. So you have the name of the train, and then you need two type of numbers. You need that number on the front and that number on the side. Or the number on the front and that number on the inside on the wall. That just jogged my memory. Also, if you might be talking to the dispatcher and they're asking you where you are or where you're going, if you forget. I know y'all hear that lady talking on the train. Next stop, Doraville. Next stop, East Point Station. And then they have like the little computer, the words, yeah. So those words should be words telling you what the next station is. So it might say next stop, East Point Station, or the words also remind you of what train you're on. So it might say airport train, or it might say Doraville train. It's reminding you that this is the train that you're on. So we try to give you as many indicators or as many reminders as we can to let y'all know what train you're on, because that's how important it is for us to be able to, you know, help y'all and get to y'all as fast as possible. Okay, next question. What color shirts do the station agents wear? Not the police officer, but the station agent.
Oh, you have your hands up? What color?
Yes, orange. So it'll be like a dark orange color, and it'll be like a collar shirt. So they'll have dark orange on, and I think sometimes, their pants might be like blue or something like that. So what do the station agents do? That's the next question. I said it just real quick. I didn't really go into it a lot, but y'all want me to tell y'all? Okay. So the station agents help you if you need help loading your breeze card, if you need to get into the restroom. Well, the police can do that too, but they're on site. So if you need to go in the restroom, because our restrooms are usually locked. So if you knock on the door, if the door is locked, you get to them and they'll tap you in to the bathroom. If you're loading your card and it might have taken your money, or it didn't give you the card, or something goes wrong with that machine, let the station agent know and they'll help you. If you don't see a station agent, then you can pick up those phones and let the person on the phone know, and they'll get somebody to you to help you as well. Next question. What two color shirts do the police officers wear?
The police officers?
Blue?
Blue.
And what other color?
White.
So it's yellow. So it's kind of like a highlighter marker. So it's like really bright yellow. We call it high bid. So it's really bright yellow. Or do you see sometimes, I know down here downtown, you might see somebody with the yellow traffic vest on.
Yeah.
So it's that color.
Yeah.
So our shirts are that color yellow, or they might have on a blue shirt, a dark blue shirt, but the shirt does kind of look black. So it's really dark blue, and then it has police on the back. But you'll see them, they have their belt on and their radio and all this stuff. You should be able to tell that they're police officers. I'm gonna do one more question. What is one way that you can notify MARTA that something is going on, something not good is going on the train?
You can use that MARTA app to text,
Yep. You can use the MARTA app, you can use the CSA app, good. Okay, y'all make me feel good. Y'all are very attentive. Anybody else have any more questions or is there anything, Mr. Black, that you want me to cover that I
No,
didn't
you pretty
know?
well, you covered it all?
Okay, okay.
Yeah, you know,
Anybody have questions or just comment, anything? No?
No.
Okay. Now, I do have I have one favor I want to ask. Y'all gonna do it?
Yes,
Or y'all
sir.
wanna know what it is first?
I wanna know
You
what
wanna know before you do it? Okay, on Mondays and Thursdays, when y'all see me at College Park, y'all better say hey. Alright, say good morning. I'ma speak to y'all, but good morning.
Like say hi.
I wanna, even though we have our, because I have my mask on too, I wanna, you know, you can tell people smiling because their ears kind of go up a little bit. So I wanna be able to see y'all smiling from your ears going way up. There you go, Mr. C. There you go. Okay, well, I don't have anything else for y'all. Hope y'all have a good week. If y'all have any questions, just, you know, let me know, he'll contact me, and then we'll do what we can. And like you said, hopefully we can do this yearly.
Yeah, it would be,
Every
if I
year.
just, first, it'll be our first 2 weeks, before they actually start what we call their job
Okay.
rotation on campus. You know, we would like to do, we would like to have, a lot of times, but this year they didn't do it, but sometimes we have the GSU police in it. And they start asking them a lot of questions about MARTA, and we like, so next year we'll try to arrange where we have, like, you hear
Okay.
a little bit overlap, and y'all can just go from there, because I know it's, y'all do, you know, like they were told, you know, even though the GSU police, there's MARTA police here, there's APS police here, all that's surrounding
work
this area.
close together.
Right,
Yeah.
and they work close together, so I was there right there, but it was very good.
Okay, and let us know even, like with one of the schools, Chris Ray did just suggest if y'all ever want to get into maybe doing a tour of one of the stations, one of the main stations that y'all use, we can walk around and, cause I know me, I'm a hands-on person, so I like to see it and touch it and all that, so if we're open to,
Okay.
I can get one of my officers out and do tours and all that good stuff.
That'd be nice. So
But
you left the,
oh, I'm gonna leave this.
the whole bag?
I'm gonna leave the bag and all the, so, next year when I come, if I need to bring more, let me
You got a
know.
MARTA bag? That's it?
Yep,
Oh,
it's a team model.
Okay, well, so whoever becomes the first intern of the month's gonna get that Team MARTA bag, okay?
Okay.
So that's gonna be the first intern of the month. Could we get a group picture with you?
Of course.
Okay, we go out in the hallway.
Okay.
I mean, into the front lobby.